Welcome, Blazer students, parents, and friends. My name is Rob Friedoff, and I serve as Interim AVP of Student Success at Valdosta State University. Today, we are bringing you a video about academic advising and registration scheduling. As we go through this presentation, you will meet 4 members of our advising team, and we also have 2 interpreters joining us, Ms. Kelly and Ms. Rencia. To get us started today, I'd like to introduce you to Dr. Sherry Tillman, who is our director in the College of Honors and Exploratory Advising Center. Hello, Sherry.
Hi, Rob.
How are you today?
I've missed seeing everyone.
That's right. We're excited. Thank you for joining us today to talk a little bit about advising and registration. We're going to start with a relatively straightforward question, I believe, which is, can you tell us a little bit about the MyMajors Assessment and how it will be used for advising?
Oh, yeah. I'm very, very excited about us using MyMajors. We have so many students coming in that really don't know what they want to do with the rest of their life. I know when I was their age, years ago, I didn't know what I wanted to do with my life. And when you go and look at the research, over 80% of our students are going to change their major at least once. So I'm very excited about the assessment tool that we're going to be using this semester, which is MyMajors. It's a college level assessment, and it measures the students' academic achievement, their interests, and their work preferences. And then it will give them a list of 10 majors based on how they answered those questions, the best fit majors for them that are available at VSU. So it's very simple. It's very straightforward. It'll take the student 15 minutes or less to get it completed. Now, I know some of the students are probably thinking, I've done personality tests in high school. You know, those personality tests, that's just one side of the story. They may even do a personality test when they get to an academic advising center here at VSU. But we really like this MyMajors because the majors they see are going to match up to their interests and their abilities. And I hope some parents are listening to this video too, because if they can get their child to take this MyMajors, it can help them save money. Even one of the amounts thrown out has been $15,000. They're probably sitting there going, how are we going to do that? Well, when we can get the student started out on the right foot, they won't take classes that they don't need. And then we've got the student focused. And when they can see that goal at the end of the tunnel, they stay focused. Because when students don't have a major or they're not sure, they tend to start floundering. So I'm so excited about the MyMajors tool that we're going to be using.
Sherry, one other thing to add on that too is not only does it getting them started in the right pathway get them done earlier, typically what we know is if a student is interested in what they're studying, they're going to have a higher GPA. So not only are they done a little bit more quickly, but they also tend to be at a higher GPA point once they're done. Just a quick question on MyMajors. You kind of talked about it a little bit for that student who's maybe doing some exploring. How does this help somebody who has been pretty set on what they want to do over the last 10 years? What does it help them, or how does it help them?
Yeah, well, you know, there's a saying, you can have declared a major, but that doesn't mean you're decided. So our students that we're getting who think they really know what they want to major in, this will help them see, hey, yeah, I'm on the right track. This does fit. If it's not on there, then they can start having conversations with the advisor, perhaps even their parents, going, hey, we need to look into this a little bit more. But if I was coming in pretty set on my major and it was on my top 10, it would make me feel really good, and it would make me feel confident I'm going the right direction.
Yeah, that's a huge piece. I think that confidence piece. And I think for those students that when you take this MyMajor and your major does show up in your top 5 or 10, it's going to help put a little wind in your sails that you're heading in the right direction. So Sherry, thank you for that information on MyMajors. The next guest we're bringing in is Miss Alicia Robertson, our director in the College of the Arts and Advising Center. Alicia, thanks so much for joining us. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm glad to be here and excited for our new students who are coming in the door. And so, yeah,
excellent. Well,
it's great.
In addition to our MyMajors assessment, we're also asking students to do a pre-enrollment survey. Can you talk a little bit about that pre-enrollment survey and what that looks like?
Sure. So one of the things is that really one of the ways I look at is the pre-enrollment survey is really a student's first chance to tell us about where they have been and where they're going. We can read a lot about you in Banner. We know in many cases we can see your test scores, we can see your high school GPA, we can see some things about you, but it doesn't tell us a lot about who you are. And that's important to us. We want to know you. We're going to be using the information that you share with us to build out your schedules. And somebody else is going to tell you a lot more about that in a little bit. But really, this is a chance for you to share with us what your goals are. It's a chance for you to share things with us about what you hope to do while you're here at VSU, especially in terms of, are you going to be in the marching band or the concert choir? Are you going to be part of one of our university athletic organizations, so that we have that information to know? It's also an opportunity for you to share with us your future goals, so that we can really see how we can support you as an advising team and moving you towards those goals. And so another thing that we're going to ask you about is, we have a lot of students who end up taking college classes in high school dual enrollment, or they've taken AP, IB courses, and those courses count towards your degree here. So we need to know about those. And this is an opportunity for you to share with us. In some cases, we have gotten those scores, and sometimes we haven't. We don't get them always from, we don't get your transcripts and your AP and all that stuff from high school. We've got to get them from the colleges. We have to get them from College Board, and sometimes that can be delayed. So, but you know what you've taken, and you can share that with us. And so that's really helpful. Another thing that helps us is we know that our students have other things going on in life sometimes. You have family responsibilities in some cases. Some of you are going to be working, and so we need to also know about any time constraints that you have, other responsibilities you have on your plate. Again, really a way for us to know more about you, where you've been, where you want to go, and how we can help you get there.
Thank you, Alicia. Quick question too. Pre-enrollment survey, is it something new, or have we done this in the past before?
So we did it last year for the first time. And it really was amazing. We felt like when we had a chance to talk to our students later down the road in the orientation process, we really felt like we had a better opportunity of knowing them, and they actually felt like we knew who they were, and not just their ID number or their name, but we had some story to add to it. It was a chance to connect.
Excellent. Thank you. And we'll see you in a little bit. I'm going to pull in our next guest. Our next guest is Miss Karen Higgs. She's the director over in the College of Nursing and Health Sciences. Hey, Karen, how are you today?
Hey, Rob. Great. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm doing wonderful. That porch looks very inviting. It looks like a beautiful day in South Georgia.
It is. It is.
Well, wonderful. We're actually going to ask you to say, how are those advising teams going to use both the MyMajors and the pre-enrollment survey to start creating a semester schedule?
Well, once you complete both of those tasks, your information goes into a database. So all of the information you provide will be retrieved by the advising center where your major lives. Your advising center will then review this information and build your schedule according to your major and keeping your survey responses in mind. We may have some questions for you, so be on the lookout for a phone number for a phone call at the number you included on your survey, or an email at your Valdosta State email account. P.S. It's a really good thing to get in the habit of checking that email regularly. Not only the advising center, but other offices like financial aid may be reaching out to you to help you get ready for the fall semester. So if we call you, we'll be in touch. Otherwise, once your schedule's ready, your advising center is going to send you an email that will include instructions for how to access it through your MyVSU account. So one thing to keep in mind, we try to get these schedules turned around in about 2 weeks, but right now, as we begin this orientation season, we expect to have a lot of responses, a lot of you doing this work. So it may take us 2 to 3 weeks, but do keep an eye on your email. We'll let you know when it's ready. A couple of other things to keep in mind about your schedule. Not all of your class preferences will be on your schedule. We gave you more choices than what we needed so that we could build that optimal schedule for you. And then unless you indicated needing fewer hours or other special circumstances, your schedule is going to include about 14 to 16 hours. We know that's a sweet spot for students. If you complete an average of 15 hours a semester, then you're going to get your 120 required hours within your 4-year time frame. So again, this schedule takes all of that information that you've provided us and the things we know about how students can progress through their major to get through in a timely manner. The last thing you need to know is if you have questions about your schedule, reach out directly to your advising center using the contact information that's provided in that schedule notification email.
Excellent. And after the schedule is set and the student has questions, just touch and point one more time. I want to make sure that students know that that schedule gets sent out to them and they have a question. They reach back out to who?
Advising center of the major that's housed. That contact information will be in the email. When we send you that email that says, hey, your schedule's ready, here's how to go view it, we're also going to include our contact information in there.
Wonderful. And that's going to be to that valdosta.edu email account. All right. So students, make sure that you're checking valdosta.edu. That's where we're going to be sending everything. Thank you, Karen, for joining. Our next person in is Miss Roselle Slayman. She is our director in the College of Business Administration. Hello, Roselle. How are you?
Hi, Rob. I am doing good. How are you today?
Doing wonderful. So, Roselle, you get to answer that question of that schedule is made. We've got MyMajors and pre-enrollment, and then there's some time before fall starts. What does that advising component look like during that season?
Well, once you get your schedule, and if you don't have any questions, or if you do have questions, you'll reach out to your advising center to ask those questions to verify anything that we have registered you for those courses. So we're just going to make sure that you feel comfortable in the courses, and if you think you need to make some changes in those courses, we will make sure that you understand how to go into our visual schedule builder, make those changes for those classes, and then we'll kind of recheck just to make sure you haven't gone kind of to the left of courses you don't need.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that we saw last year, as Alicia mentioned, we did pre-enrollment last year, and what happened from time to time was that when students were filling it out, they forgot about an AP course, or they forgot about a dual enrollment course maybe. And then we built the schedule and like, well, hold on, I've already got credit. And so if anything like that happens, again, back to the academic advisor to check in and make sure that everything is straight. We'd much rather have the question asked than not asked. Any other tips as they're going through the July and August and they're getting ready for fall? Anything they can do to meet up with advisors or any way to build that relationship?
We just ask you to contact us. We love to talk to students. That's the one thing that we really love to do. You can email us, you can call us. We're available either way. You can make an appointment with us through our advising scheduler. That'll be something you will learn how to do as well if you would like to make an appointment. During the first year at VSU, we have 3 goals we want you to achieve within the first 30 hours or your first year at VSU. The first thing we would like you to achieve is to complete 30 hours your first year. As Ms. Higgs had already said, you do about 15 hours per semester to complete your degree in 4 years. 2, we want to make sure that you complete your English and math courses during that first 30 hours to set your foundation. And 3, we want to make sure you take some classes related to your major so you can kind of get an introduction to what your major is, what type of career choices, to make sure that's a major that you really want to be into.
Perfect. Thank you, Roselle. Appreciate the time. Sherry, I'm going to ask you to come on back in for a moment, if you don't mind, and talk a little bit about how does the academic advising relationship evolve over that first year?
Thanks, Rob. Academic advising varies. It's different no matter what institution you go to. There's really not a one-size-fits-all approach to advising. At VSU, you'll be placed with an advisor that is in the advising center of where your major is housed. You'll be put with that professional advisor your first semester. We hope to have a lot of conversations about academics, career choices, explore the different opportunities that are out there. We just want to get the student started on the right path because we know a student's strengths and their weaknesses, they're vital to the student's success. But I think one of the best things our advisors do at VSU is we really work hard to develop a honest, caring relationship. We want to get to know our students. And when I say that, I don't mean, hey, just by name. I mean, we really want to get to know our students. We want to engage them in open dialogue, reflective dialogue. That way we really get to know the student and we can give them the correct support or guidance that they need. It is a mandatory process at VSU, so students do have to meet with an academic advisor at least once a semester. Now, when I say once a semester, I'm not saying that's all we want. I want to meet with my students, and I know the other advisors do too. We want to see you often. We want to talk to you by telephone, cell phone, email, stop by our office. We want to talk to you whenever you want to talk to us. Not all students are going to want to see us 4 or 5 times a semester. Some students are going to want to see us more than that. So we're available really when the students need us, but it's really important that they maintain contact with us. But let me just hit some of the points that students need to know that we are going to be working on the first year, because a lot of times people think academic advising is just helping the student pick a major, pick classes. It is not that. There's a whole lot more to it now. We're really going to start off the bat by helping the student, based on their interests and needs, fix a program of study for them. We're going to monitor, and they're going to be surprised about this, we're going to monitor their class attendance and their academic performance. So if we get a note that says, hey, so-and-so didn't do too great on their first test in a class, we are going to reach out to that student. We're going to see what happened. We're going to offer some study tips, ask them what they did to prepare for the test. We're actually going to get them to try to come into our office to really talk. But we've got a lot of resources that we can connect them to on VSU's campus, such as the Academic Support Center, which is free tutoring. Attendance. If we get an alert that a student's missed some classes, we're going to reach out to the student, and it's not to bother them. It's just to make sure they're really okay. If you're missing classes in one subject, you're probably missing classes in all of your subjects. So we just want to touch base, make sure you're okay, and let you know we're here to help if you need us. We've got a counseling center. A lot of students are having some different issues, so we've got a counseling center on campus. If we feel like we need to get a student in touch with them, we'll help them make an appointment. And we've had advisors actually walk students over to the counseling center because the student just wanted that extra support. They're going to get that from the advisors at VSU. Students struggle with all kinds of issues. It's not just academic issues. And a lot of times when we're talking to our students about academic issues, we usually find out there's something else going on too in their private life. So we want to talk to them about that. But we want to help them make connections academically and socially. So we help them find internships. We talk to them about all the great study abroad opportunities we have. So we really just want them to get involved, and we want to help them make academic and social connections. So we're looking for that in the classroom and out of classroom success. But if I had to sum it up, and then I'll quit talking, but if I had to sum it up, especially to parents, if you think of your advisor as a support network, we're kind of a hub of information. But the one thing you can count on with your advisors at VSU is that we will be open, we will be honest, and we are going to work our hardest and best to form a strong and trusting relationship with our students so they're comfortable to tell us anything. We're here no matter what the issue is. VSU advisors, we really do care about our students.
And just a quick tip to the students, if you don't want an advisor showing up to your class, make sure you answer those emails, those text outreaches. When we reach out, we do want to hear from you. And it is not uncommon for somebody on my advising team to show up at a class to go talk to somebody. They are more than happy to do that. And I know that's a pretty quick way to get a little bit embarrassed in front of peers. So make sure you're responding to those emails and those outreach and coming in and seeing us. And making that relationship. It's a two-way street. We obviously love it, but we can't make that relationship without the effort from your side. So Sherry, thank you for talking about that first year. I'm going to bring Alicia back in. Alicia, can you kind of talk after year one, how does that advising relationship at VSU move forward? So we kind of went through year one, now looking at year two through graduation.
I think that the relationship that Sherry was talking about, it's just an opportunity. We grow from there, and we go from there. And it may seem, some people may go, well, how are we going to get to know this person? And I think Sherry made a good point, because, and we're going to know some of our students more than others, and we get that. Some of you are going to get exactly what you need from us by coming to see us a couple times a semester, once a semester, and others are going to need more. Others are going to want more, and we're there. And that's going to continue through graduation. And it's going to continue to the point that we get things like this in the mail from our graduates, and our kids know some of our students, and they're like, hey, can we put it on the refrigerator? And so we do get connected to some of our students in really special ways, and we want to be able to do that with you, and we want to do that with your students who become ours. And so with that, we're going to work with you to build your plan to graduation to reach your goals. And so at some point along the line, you're going to get probably a map of what that looks like in terms of courses by semester. And that's kind of perfect world. We're going to build in the things that we learn about you along the way, and we're going to edit those, and we're going to revisit those, and we're going to keep moving you towards your goal of graduation. The other thing we're going to do is we're going to ask you questions about what's beyond graduation, because you need to keep, Stephen Covey talks about you got to keep the end in mind. And so, and along the way, you're adding things. You're adding experiences, like Sherry mentioned, study abroad and internships. You're building relationships with faculty. I got to thinking about it, and while Sherry was talking, we write a lot of letters of recommendation for graduate school and for jobs. And so we help students find jobs sometimes on campus, and and it's really, what do we need to do to help you over 4 years get what you need to get to where you want to be. I heard somebody say one time that and it just really resonates with me, and I think it goes back to Rob talking about, we will show up at your classroom door. We refer to ourselves as, or at least I do, I'm a professional botherer. And so please do answer your phone, answer your emails. But we are going to do everything we can do to get you to do everything you need to do to get to your degree. But the key in that is students have a lot of responsibility. Actually, students have the bulk of the responsibility along the way to get there. And we're just here really as a coach. Coach makes calls from the sidelines, and the players go make the plays. And that's the same thing for the relationship between us and our students. And so we also do little things like reminders around, it's time to register, it's time to do your graduation applications. We do some of that too. But I think we think more about it in terms of people over process and relationship over task. And we really are excited about beginning that journey with you over the course of the summer and beyond.
Excellent. Thanks so much, Alicia. Appreciate you jumping in to kind of talk about that. And I do want to hit on one thing that you said. I think the important part here is you said we edit plans. and I think what's important to hear as a student and to hear as a parent in this process, we have initial plans, and then oftentimes those will get altered a little bit. And it's much easier for us in advising if we're in early in the conversation, if it's a proactive kind of a thing that you can come to us and say, hey, I was planning on doing dance, but now I'm thinking I might want to go theater, or I was thinking I wanted to do history and now I want to do English, or whatever that may look like. The sooner we're in that process, the easier we can make things go smoothly for the student. So early and frequent conversations are definitely going to be important. All right, it's getting a little bit late in the webinar here. I want to take a moment and just say thank you so much for everybody taking the time to come and learn about academic advising and registration scheduling. If you have questions about academic advising, please feel free to connect directly with your advising center. If you're not certain who that is yet, or as you go through the process, you just don't know who to reach out to and you want somewhere to go to, please use uast@valdosta.edu. That will get to me and a couple of my colleagues, and then we will filter that information over to the appropriate office for you. Have a great day, and we look forward to seeing you in a future webinar. Go Blazers!